1, 2. All right. Yay! Thanks for coming, everybody. Yay!
Yeah. How you doing, Planet FunCon?
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Well, welcome to the Sailor Moon reunion with Linda Valentine and Katie Griffin. So, my two esteemed panelists. Linda is an actor of stage, screen, and TV, has an extensive voice acting portfolio on many programs for children and young folks. Perhaps best known for playing Sailor Moon and Serena on the Sailor Moon miniseries.
Yes, it's truth.
So, and Katie Griffin has acted on both large and small screens. Also has many acting credits. Was nominated for a Canadian Screen Award for work on Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. And then,
the TV series. I was Sam Sparks. Yeah.
And then centered for today's panel, played Sailor Mars in the Sailor Moon series. So please help me welcome Linda and Katie.
And you are?
I am Dr. Eric Wesselman. I'm a psychology professor by day, full-time nerd, and I love talking about geeky things in fan spaces.
Oh, this is very, very exciting.
Very exciting.
Excellent.
So I would just start out with sort of just asking my guests, what are their origin stories? What got you into the acting gig?
Oh, well, I either wanted to be an actor or an Olympic athlete. And the Olympic athlete thing was not very realistic, quite frankly. But I really wanted to be an Olympic athlete. But I always thought that actors, you had to come from a family who were actors. So I was like, why weren't any of my parents actors? You guys are losers. You ruined my whole life. And then one day I had this great, fantastic drama teacher in high school, and he was just awesome. And I went over to him one day and I said, I don't know, I feel like maybe I'm crazy, but I was kind of thinking maybe I would do acting for a living. He goes, yep. I went, well, what's that supposed to mean? He's like, yeah, I think that's a really good idea. And I was like, people do that? And he goes, yes. Yes, you idiot child. So I went to theater school. And in theater school, they had everything there. You know, they have movement classes, vocal training, all this stuff. And one of the things was microphone technique. And as soon as I got in front of the mic, I had no idea that there was even a world of voiceovers. And as soon as I got in front of that mic and I heard the spit between my teeth and my ears and everything, I was like, this is what I want to do. I love this so much. I knew exactly how to do it. I knew how to lose my mind in there and just go off into a whole other world, and I loved it. And I just haven't looked back since. That's it.
That was really good, Linda, because you really just layered it. Remember we talked about this? And just getting back to what you said about the Olympic athlete, we're best friends in real life, and she's coming up to, it's my sister's cottage. Anyway, it's on a lake. Oh. I'm going to sort out Olympic Games for you, Linda, so you might get your chance. I don't know what we're going to do. It might end in Jell-O shots. We don't know. But either way, it will be an Olympic sport.
You do know that it will end in Jell-O shots.
In fact, it will, because we've already talked about the Jell-O shots. That wasn't part of the Olympic part. So my background, I do both on camera and voice, and I was acting in a lot of TV movies and films and stuff, and up in Toronto, Canada. That's where I'm from. We're from. And then I was dating at the time the real Tuxedo Mask, the first Tuxedo Mask.
Hey, wait a second, that's my man.
What? You're such a meatball head. So he had already been cast as Tuxedo Mask, and I had no idea about the voiceover world. I am a singer, but it just wasn't what I was gonna do. I was gonna be a movie star. And he said, Kate, you are going to audition for this because you are Ray. Because I was training Kung Fu, a lot of Kung Fu at the time. I had long black hair, like almost black hair, because that's my real color. 100 years ago when I did this, it was darker. And so I looked like her. So he said, you actually look like Ray. You train Kung Fu, you're doing it. I said, I don't even know what this is. This is silly. And I never looked back. I got the role, and my entire career, I'd say, 80% of my career is voice because of Sailor Mars. So that's how I got started.
Excellent, excellent. So this particular show, anime is obviously very prominent now in North American culture, but it wasn't for a while. Sailor Moon was really one of the first shows that kind of helped move it into the mainstream.
It was the gateway drug to anime.
So we were the pioneers.
So let's talk about the gateway. What do you think hooks so many people from this show?
Well, first of all, it's the greatest show ever.
Yes.
There's that.
Yeah.
I think a big part of it was that, I mean, first of all, it was 5 strong females, which we just have, we've rarely had it even since, which is mind-boggling to me. But these 5 women each had very distinct personalities. It wasn't sort of like, oh, they're all kind of like this and we're just gonna, here they are and are all doing, no, they all had their own so unique personalities that everybody could, different people could associate. Like how many fans do we have that come over to us saying, you know, like, oh my God, I am so Serena, you don't even know. You have no idea. Oh my God, and she's my best friend. And she is just like exactly like Ray. Oh my God, you don't understand. And so it's fantastic, all that stuff. And they were each flawed. They all had their own flaws, which made them so much more human and relatable. And it was just, it was good.
Well, it's true, and they all had huge backstories. Everybody started doing research on them, and there was so much merchandise, and then there were these cards, and then you found out Ray she's an Aries. So it's just like weird things. Like people would ask me, do you have the same birthday as Ray? And I'd be like, well, I'm a Capricorn. I don't know. When's her birthday? And then everybody knew her birthday, and I thought, this is so random. So they all had these backstories that you could connect with, and just like you said, and also, to add to that, they were superheroes.
Yeah.
So anything with, like, superheroes, it's a good,
And they
it's a good storyline. It's a good
And the fans
narrative.
also got to watch, you know, as it progressed, as the story progressed, which was also awesome. But speaking of birthdays, whose birthday is tomorrow? Serena's birthday is tomorrow. You'll be getting me a birthday cake, right, Katie?
No, maybe. I like cake.
She does like cake.
I'm like, it just gave me there's something called the Chocolate Manor, like downstairs we have it. Is that an actual chocolate place where I can buy chocolate?
Serena's birthday tomorrow, Katie.
Okay. I think we should go there then.
Okay.
Sounds like a great plan.
Okay.
So Sailor Moon has a very devoted fan base. What are some of your favorite sort of fan moments that have sort of like driven home like how powerful the show is?
Where do you begin? Oh, we've got the ballot.
First of all, the support, just with one another, everybody. Sailor Moon fans are the best fans in the world.
Period. End of statement.
It's because it's such a loving environment. There's so much, I don't know, love, like it's very supportive, and people grew up with it, and it meant something. Every single person that loves Sailor Moon watched it because they were either getting through something heavy, a lot of heavy things, and they related, and people come up to us all the time, and the constant is, Sailor Moon, that was my best friend growing up. And look, I have shivers now, I can start getting emotional, but it's true, and it gets people through stuff. So look at me getting all emotional.
I know, but I mean, we also had our share of really wild things happening. Like, we were in Australia at a Comic-Con, and this woman came over to us wanting our autograph, and she had, you know, like some kind of sort of paper mache Sailor Moon head, giant. Like this
massive,
big.
like crazy massive.
And she's in this, you know, sort of Sailor Moon-y type outfit, which was very, very cute, and a pair of ice skates.
In Australia, in this like really super hot,
like real ice skates, and she's walking around this con in ice skates in Australia, and you know, we're like, wow, that's
it was
an interesting
impressive
choice. She was like, well, I thought that the skirt was kind of like a figure skating thing, so I just decided to wear the skates. We're like, okay.
I mean,
she did it all weekend. It wasn't one day. And it was all day, and by the end of it, I saw her, and she's hobbling along, and I'm like, how are you doing in those skates? And she's like, I got to admit, I don't think it was such a good idea.
It's crazy. I play hockey, so I wear ice skates a lot, and I just think, I wear them for an hour skating and playing hockey, and then I want to get the skates off my feet. I just can't imagine walking around in skates for more than 2 hours.
We've had a lot of fun times.
Yeah.
So you both have acted in various different formats. What are your sort of things that you enjoy about each of the different ways of acting? Stage?
You mean on camera and stuff
On
like that?
camera.
Okay. Do you want to go?
Well, they're completely different for me. Anything voiceover is easy. It's easy for me and it comes naturally to me, and 85% of my career has been voiceover. So if I get a cartoon or anime, anything that it's easy and it's fun and I know what to do. But whenever I book something, she helps me. She's my reader. She's my official auditioner.
For on-camera stuff.
Yeah, for on-camera stuff. If I book a series or if I book anything, it's not what I don't really love doing any of it because it scares the crap out of me. And I really, I'm sorry. Yeah. Anyway, but it does. But there's a reason for that because I think I'm kind of good at what I do. And then when I do it, now it's me. It's not me with headphones on, hiding behind. Now it's like people watching Katie Griffin in a TV series. I did one called Grand Army, and it was on Netflix. It was pretty hardcore. And it was a high school. I don't know if you saw it, but it was like bad things happened. It was tormenting. But the satisfaction I got from it, the win for it for me is it's the gravity of anything I book on camera is so much greater than anything I do for voiceover. So I would never I can't give it up. I say all the time, I should probably just be a cartoon. It's better. And she'll be like, see what she's doing? This is what she does to me. We had drinks last night. Actually. Water. Yes, water. Just lots of water. And she's like, you're good, Kate. It was the whole thing.
I have to constantly talk her into this stuff. Like I'm saying, Katie, yes, you can do this. Of course you can do this. She's really, really good.
Stop
really
it.
good.
Stop it.
Ish. No. No, you're easy to direct. And I can't memorize lines to save my life, especially now. Like when I was younger, but now I'm just like, oh, no. Like, even if it was a commercial, I'd be like, I don't know. That's one line. How many? There's 8 words. I can't do that. Why are you making me do that? But I did love being on stage. I do love being on stage. Like, I love getting up and performing and doing stuff. But I don't do any stage acting anymore. I'll do a lot of, fundraisers and stuff like this. My husband is very outgoing and he's very funny, so we can get up on a stage together no problem and just go and raise money for things. So if you ever need anybody to raise money for you, I'll do it.
She's the girl.
I'll do it. I love doing it.
I'd like to pivot now at this point in time to give your fans some opportunities to ask questions. So,
Yes.
Fortune favors the bold. Stand up.
And there you go.
Yeah, let's go.
Do you guys have favorite episodes of Sailor Moon, or ones that you remember were the hardest for you guys to do, or any ones that just stand out in your memory for any reason whatsoever?
I love the end of the seasons because they were always really gritty. Like they were heartfelt and just everybody's dying around me. What's happening?
And we didn't get the scripts ahead of time. So we would be in the moment watching them die, saying, wait, one second. Sorry, am I dying? Am I dead?
I actually
What's
remember,
happening?
as we're speaking right now, and I had totally forgotten about this, I remember you saying, well, I think my character's dead now, I'm out of the series.
Yeah, it was really fun.
And I'm like,
for a
I don't
bit.
think so. I think
So
I think
weird,
I'll come back.
because
She's like, no, I
Mars.
saw her die. She's dead. Okay, well, I think I'm still in.
But that's and because we did this so long ago, because we've been asked that question, and then Linda and I always talk about it, saying we should really think about what episodes, but those are the memories we have, and it's behind the scenes, because we didn't get scripts ahead of time. We had no idea what was happening, and episodes were disjointed when we were recording them. We didn't do them all at the same time, so we didn't know, they were kind of bleeding into one another. We had no idea. I did like all the fighting because it was ridiculous. And again, without scripts, all of a sudden you're reading what they're saying. And I mean, it was ridiculous. You'd actually giggle through the first 2 lines and then you'd say, okay, no, I'll do it for real now. I'll do it for real.
It's true.
So all the fighting was fun. And also Ray was so serious all the time. So it was fun. And Chad would come along sometimes. That was fun. Because you're just like, oh, this is so fun because she's out of character a little bit with him.
Yeah. Yeah? Good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Good question.
Are there any episodes that you absolutely hated doing, or any like really just? I hate to be negative.
No, are you kidding me? Yeah.
And also, you guys look amazing.
Yeah, I do. No, girl,
I
yeah.
was looking for you. I was looking for you all day. You said you were coming. Well, yeah, because you were here yesterday, right? And you said you were going to dress up. Anyway.
Yep, that's us.
Yeah, I knew.
Well done.
I was looking
Well done,
for
you. Yes, I was always losing my voice because it's a real, I don't have that high a voice, so I was constantly losing my voice, and believe it or not, every single time I had to say, I will punish you in the name of the, it was just like, oh, God, here we go, okay. And I do it, they go, oh, you cracked a little bit. I'm like, or even the Sailor Moon Says, I didn't have to do a lot of those because they sort of took it out after a while, but Sailor Moon Said was also really hard to do because Serena spoke in a very different way than Sailor Moon did, and Sailor Moon had to be so powerful and really push her voice more, but it was still high, so it was hard. It's hard to wrap your vocal cords around something like that. There you go.
Yeah, same. So the stuff that I didn't like was exactly the same thing, where we just had to scream for hours. And then Ray, at one point, when she was transforming, she had one the transforming killed us. The transformations were the killer because that's when you're really screaming all the time. And then they added things, so it was easy, like Mars Fire Ignite, easy. Mars Star Power, all those things, no problem. And then all of a sudden I'm in the booth and my voice is like shot. I've been there for 4 hours and I'm reading it because we're ancient, and it was like karaoke but handwritten, and it would scroll across. It was called the Rhythm Band. It's terrible. And then I'm watching it going, oh, this is a new transformation. Mars, Celestial, Fire, and I'm running out of breath, and I'm like, what is happening? How many words? So yeah, that was a killer.
I'm trying to figure out if you actually read Celestial properly when they first put it up there.
You know 100% I did not. She knows me. She looks at me sometimes when she knows me too well. Well, also it was handwritten, Linda. It was like written where you're like, the handwriting was hard to read.
I know, and I had the exact same thing, moon, spiral, heart attack, makeup, get me the defibrillator. Wow.
Except now picture that like screaming.
Yeah. And then them saying, do it again.
Yeah. Do it again.
I kept saying,
oh, I forgot to record that.
When I would say, I will punish you, I would, crack or whatever. I was like, look, why don't we just lift it from the last episode or the last, 30 episodes? I do it every single time. They're like, Linda, we're paying you to do this.
It's funny,
Good
just
point.
slightly off topic, but I was in another show called Totally Spies, and thanks, yeah. But anyway, so I was Alex, and again, Alex is always talking up here, and she had this crazy, which was terrible for my voice, and they would get whooped, which meant that they were screaming and falling down a hole. Well, they get whooped every single episode, and they would have us do it every time, and you'd be doing all this, and Jennifer Hale would always be like, we've done that before. We could just, but no, we just had to do it again. They're like, nope, go. Okay.
Do you have any good in-studio stories to tell? Like
In-studio stories.
In-studio?
Oh, there's always so many. Well,
Yeah, you can tell it, Linda.
well, here's the thing. When you're doing voice work, you don't just use your voice. You use your entire body. And I know that sounds crazy, but you can't, literally, I always say if somebody cut off my arms, I don't think I could do voice work, because I'm always just like,
You're actually sweating after you do
Yeah.
it. And if you're not sweating, you didn't do it right.
yeah, if you're pulling on somebody, you're like this. And you gotta do that, because otherwise I'm going, and it's like, no, it just doesn't make sense. So you have to work your way through this. However, sometimes when you're exerting your body and you're pushing as hard as you can, things come out of your butthole. like just a little. And then you're in your, now, with Sailor Moon, I was always recording on my own. So I could just scream my guts out and, moon, fire, or whatever. Oh my God, I don't even know what it is. Moon, prism, And I swear that there's gotta be times that if you listen back really carefully, you'll probably hear yourself. Then you'd be like, ooh, I hope nobody's gonna be in here for a while. And I'd be like transforming, spinning my arms around to try and clear the air, which is locked in this tiny little room.
I did Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, the TV series, and we recorded ensemble, which means all of the actors recorded together, and the scripts were super funny, and we were allowed to ad-lib, and it was the best time of my life. Sam Sparks, I feel like we are the same person, because I am obsessed with the weather, and anyway, it doesn't matter. But we'd be in the room, and just exactly what Linda's saying, they're recording kind of all the time. You don't know what they're recording. But those sessions were all boys and me at all times. It was just Sam and Flint, and everybody was there. And it was all guys, and they were so immature. I'm immature as well. But little things would happen, and they're recording it. And I would fight with Flint and whatever, and then he'd pretend to poo, and then he'd throw it at me, and I'd be like, so all these like ridiculous things were happening, and they were recording it. And then Merlin would come on, and she'd say, "We got that, Katie. It's on the recording." Oh yeah, it was like they had this reel at the end. We saw the outtakes. It was silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't stop giggling too.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's the danger.
Yeah.
When you start and you can't stop, it's like, oh, this might be another 20 minutes or more.
Yeah, I know. And you can't look, and if you're in the booth with somebody, you can't look at them because you're just going to start laughing.
I had like the thought of, I know it's like been a long time, but like say if they revamped it, because some places like, bring stuff back again, wouldn't it be really awesome? But also on top of it, what would Sailor Moon and Mars be doing now if you could imagine what they would be 20 years later?
Wow.
I'd probably have about 45 kids. Maybe 12, but I'd have a lot of kids for sure. Just keep having kids for sure. Because she loves that man. Oh, she loves that man.
Ray was very spiritual, so I would imagine she was, still at the temple. Maybe she was training people, maybe as a teacher, kind of.
She's a Buddhist monk.
Yeah, but
let's shave her head. Take off those heels and let's shave your head.
Yeah, that was always so funny to me too, because she was so spiritual and serious and calm, and then she had these red heels when she transformed. I'm like, okay, no, it's fine, it's good.
But there weren't the Jimmy Choo ones. Have you seen the Jimmy Choo shoes?
Yeah.
The Sailor Moon collection? Why hasn't Jimmy sent me a pair of those is what I'd like to know. 9.5, Jimmy. 9.5.
First you, and then
Green and then green.
So the Deke dub made a lot of changes, like with Uranus and Neptune, famously cousins, and genders being switched and everything. Were you aware of any of those changes, or were they built into the script and you had no idea the source material was like that?
I'm an idiot.
I was aware.
I'm an idiot, and every time Uranus and Neptune would come on there, I'd be like, wait, they're cousins? They're cousins, right? They're cousins? Yes, Linda, they're cousins. I'm like, they really, they're cousins? Are you sure? Yes, Linda. And I'm like,
Well,
okay, cousins. And then they'd say, Linda, they're lesbians in the actual real thing, but in this, they're cousins. I'm like, oh, why?
yeah.
I don't understand.
The censorship was so ridiculous. Like we could the reason Sailor Moon says was even on there. Anytime, like Linda said this before, if you were riding a bike in a scene, if one of the characters was riding a bike without a helmet, they had to cut it out. Obviously the Uranus, that whole storyline too, ridiculous. So the censorship was so insane, they had to add Sailor Moon says because they've cut out so many things.
They would cut out like
Yeah.
6 minutes worth of things, and they were like, okay, we got to fill it with something. So they do Sailor Moon Says.
Yeah. I was also aware, I was made aware that it was slotted for adults in Japan. So I knew, and also there were definitely some pretty grown-up themes that they were moving around and messing about.
Trying to make it for kids.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
That's where the new dub is good.
Yeah.
Not that the new dub is bad, but
It's really
not the
good
original,
that
let's just say.
yeah.
Yeah. But it's good that they have made it what it was supposed to be. And my hat is off to them for doing that, so that's
Yeah.
good. Let's make it right.
I wish I heard your guys' voices.
So do we. Everybody would say, do you want to do it? We'd be like, yes. Just ask us.
But
Just
even
go
Totally
ahead.
Spies, they're doing a new Totally Spies, but we're not in it. It's not the original Totally Spies. We're like, what do you mean? We want to do it. We want to do.
Other people.
So you had mentioned that like the toll that it takes on your voice, like the transformation sequences that you can't obviously take. Like, yeah, why don't you use the last 30 episodes or so? What kind of stuff were you able to do to like get yourself through the episode to like all these recording sessions where like you said, yeah, you were at this like for several hours.
Yeah.
Like did you drink tea?
Well, it
lunches?
started with that. Like first of all, I said to them, I'm not doing more than 4 hours at a time because they would book us for 8-hour things. And 8 hours is way too much. And so I just said, if you want me to do this, I can only do, and I can't believe I had the guts to do that because I was pretty new in my career, but I just had to take control of it and just say, okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'll do 4 hours. And then right off the top, I just went, okay, can we do this when I have like a fight scene or screaming or the Sailor Moon type lines, let's do that at the end. So let's get all the Serena stuff done first, and then I'll blow my vocal cords out at the end. And then, and then it'll be like, ah! Just doing all the screaming and that kind of stuff. It was like, okay, here we go. But I had to do like a major warm up before I went in, and you always have to make sure you've got a lot of water for sure.
And I was super young. Well, we were both super young when we did it, and I was not vocally trained. But because I'm a singer, I got through it, and none of it really affected me when I was doing that one. Then I went on to Max and Ruby, and then I was doing all these crazy voices, and then Totally Spies came around. And now, actually, just to digress a second, I'm on the new, Total Drama Island. I'm Scary Girl. I'm Lauren. So, but she's like, if you're gonna hide about it, and I don't even know why I would do that voice ever again. When Totally Spies came around, I was still thinking, oh, you're like, 20 years old, you can do that voice, but you can't because without warming it up or taking care of your voice. And also when you do voice stuff, you can use your diaphragm sometimes, but if you're doing really super high voices, it's in your throat. There is nothing you can do to try and singer it up with your diaphragm. So I got vocal nodules during Totally Spies, and that was scary because they're like calluses on your vocal cords, and then you sound raspy and terrible, and
You sound kind of sexy in a way, but
well, I guess so, but it's also terrible for me when I was, and I thought, okay, that's the end of my career. That was nice. That was fun while it happened. Anyway, so then I learned how to really, really take care of it, and I say that, and then I got them again last year. Probably, Superbuns did that. I'm on a Superbun show. It's just, it happens and it creeps up on you. And then I had to have, I won't even get into it, I had to have a steroid injection into my vocal cord. Yeah, it was terrible. It was like terrifying and scary and awful. But then I got my voice back. So now I'm steaming my voice. I'm warming up. I don't go to anything without singing and warming up. And even right now, I don't feel like I did warm up today, so I'm starting to panic. But yeah, it's super important, and water is the key. Tea is really good too because it's steam, and it just loosens things and makes things better.
Yeah, personally.
Who's your
Pirate.
favorite character?
Favorite character in the show?
Sailor Mars.
You mean aside from Sailor Moon?
Sailor Mars? Sailor Mars is the best, though.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so weird. I don't feel the same way. Okay, if we didn't pick our own character,
Okay.
how about that?
Jupiter. Just because I play a lot of sports, and I eat baked goods. I don't bake, but she knows.
Sometimes I pick Jukes because you know that I like the sporty stuff.
Yeah. You want to be an Olympic?
But I would also say Mars, but don't tell Katie. It goes right to her fat head.
It's fine. Of course it's Mars.
Did you guys see the American version, the lost one that Toon Stars, the name escapes me at the moment?
No.
No. Oh, like a live action one?
Yeah, the live action.
Oh, no.
Yeah, live action and cartoon, and it was supposed to be the American version of Sailor Moon, but they said it was too expensive, so then they just went without.
Hilarious.
Tell me
No.
they're not going to do, though, a movie series. Come on.
They're
They've
doing a
got
live
to.
action of Totally Spies. I know that. Yeah, crazy.
Are you giving away too much information?
I don't
Julia?
know. Nobody said it was top secret. I don't know.
Because I don't want to get hit by lightning when you get hit by
Nobody
lightning.
said don't tell anybody. So you heard it from me.
Yes.
They were first.
Okay. Hi.
So, speaking of censorship and all that, in particular, my mind was drawn to the end of season 1, which in Gilbert Train, I think was 2 episodes. People were dying and super emotional. And in the deep dub, they brought it down to 1 episode where technically nobody died, but no, I couldn't figure out to save my life where everyone else just randomly came from in that last scene. Anyway, did you guys record the whole thing, and the 2 episodes, and then they caught it? Or were there instances where you dubbed and then they didn't use that?
Oh, I see that stuff that didn't get aired.
Right.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
I wasn't in that, though.
Oh, I don't know because again, there wasn't just a cohesive, like we weren't just doing 1 episode at a time. So I may have done bits and pieces and then 4 days later another bits and pieces. So it never really came together for me. I had no idea what was happening ever.
So you really didn't know if it was already caught and you were just working on the kind of stuff?
Exactly. No, we had no idea.
Again, though, that may have been something to do with the censorship thing.
Yeah.
Like going,
Yeah.
no, we can't show people dying. We can't show them.
Who is your favorite villain? And what villain do you think would you like to see more of in the series?
My favorite villain was Luna.
I mean, it's a cat. So
She picked on me the whole time and bossed me around, and it was just too much for me to handle.
I kind of like that they did have different villains all the time because they were ridiculous. The villains were ridiculous. They were the silliest looking things ever, and I did like Zoisite, so Zoisite was pretty awesome. So maybe that was my favorite because it sticks with me.
I liked all this crazy,
Yeah.
weird, like the nutcracker guy whose head opens up and he's shooting nuts out of his head. It's like, what?
I know.
Man, I was just flummoxed by that show when we were doing it. I was just like, what? This guy's head just opened up. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to watch.
With the, what about the denim jacket? Denim jacket. Yeah.
Who's your least favorite character?
Least favorite character.
Your lips didn't even move.
I know, that was really weird how that happened.
My least favorite character? Oh, Sailor Mars.
What?
Just kidding, because you're here. Well, no, I don't want to say he's my least favorite character, but I did a con with, we were at a Comic-Con with Ron Rubin, who played Artemis. And Ron was being very precious about Artemis, and somebody gave him a little stuffed Artemis, and he was being so precious about it. He's like, oh, look at this. I was like, oh, let me see him. Oh, and I went, ooh. It was like I punched Ron in the face. Like he was so angry at me, like, what are you, some kind of redneck? What are you doing? I was like, I don't know, I just couldn't resist.
Oh my God,
Such a
that
jerk.
I know, but the two, like, it's so entertaining.
I know, it's so
because their personalities are different. They love each other. It's all good, but it is really funny to watch Ron. I mean, he's so easy.
He's so easy.
because he's very Well, he's awesome. He's wrong, but he's like, yeah. Anyway, it's so easy. You have his number.
Just for fun.
Okay.
Yes.
So looking back now, would you ever guess like how much of an impact these characters have been on other people?
No.
Not a snowball's chance in hell.
No, we never, like at the time, because it was dubbing, we were doing other shows where we were making money, like good money, and dubbing was not good. So it was a job, and it was interesting and fun, and it was my very first voiceover thing, so it was special to me. But there's no way I would have ever predicted the fan base, Comic-Cons, the merchandise,
and the stories,
everything, and the
stories behind it from the fans. You know how important it was, and what it meant to each individual.
Yeah.
And there are some, sort of like, oh, I just love the show. I loved how it went. This is so funny. And then there was others that are like, this show, was really important to me. I needed this. And it's not one person.
No, it's a lot.
It's many, many, many people. And every single Comic-Con we come to, every single one, bar none, someone will say, without this show, I wouldn't be here right now. And the very first time that happened to me, I didn't know what to do. I was like, I'm so, like, I don't even know what to say. Like, I was sort of sitting there, she's telling me this story saying, without you, I wouldn't be here right now. And then she turns around.
I'm gonna
start crying. And she said, I'd like you to meet my daughter. And her daughter is dressed as Sailor Moon. And I'm just like,
way to go, Linda. This is supposed to be a happy
we
camp.
bawled our eyes out. But, like every single person that does that, it's like, you are so worth it. I'm so glad that you are here and that you did. And I'm so glad that this show was here for you, because you're so worth it to have here. And so that's one of the reasons we do so many Comic-Cons. It's just like, no, we have to meet these people.
And there are no other shows. It doesn't matter. There are other shows. We could go to Comic-Cons for any other show, and it's great. It would be super fun, but nothing compares to Sailor Moon. It really is the truth.
We go to our hotel rooms after this, and we're just like, we tell each other stories.
Look at what she just did. I can't believe you just did that.
There's no crying in anime.
There's no crying in anime.
She always says that. That's my thing.
What's the most embarrassing line you've had to say on camera?
On camera?
Or
embarrassing.
Yeah.
Embarrassing. Well, I was once for a commercial. I was once a butthole. I was not playing. I was the voice of that. But yeah, we're talking about Preparation H, and I'm just. So I got to.
It's so funny that you always get those ones.
I know. That was fantastic.
Or she was a cow. It wasn't that embarrassing, but it was an interesting one. You had to be a chicken.
I was
a
cow that clucked like a chicken.
And she was actually Dr. Scholl's, those little inserts. She was feet. She was the left foot and the right foot.
I was both.
I never booked those ones.
And the right foot. And all I said was, ow, 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 ow. And she just saw the feet walk by. I love that. I love all these things, because when I go home and say to, my family, my husband will say, how did work go today? I had to say, ow. And they paid me.
I know, I actually, because there's a show called Skillsville that I was recording, and my parents went, oh, okay, great, you're going into Skillsville. And I said, watch this, because I'm the mom. I go in and I have 6 lines, so it's so fast. So I'll call them and I'll say, okay, I'm going in, and then I'll be 6 minutes, done. And my dad was an air traffic controller, so he's like, what? And that was your job today. That was, totally different jobs.
Has your equipment break down and when?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a very good question. Happens all the time.
All the time. I am not technically inclined. Technology does not agree with me. It just doesn't. It doesn't like me.
Like your phone when you arrived here, Katie?
She has to help me at all times. There are things I'll say, help me, and she does. And I thank God I have 2 kids. I have 2 boys, 13, 17. They know it all. They can help me with every single bit of technology. But during COVID, we couldn't go into the studios. And I have a studio at home. I have my recording stuff, but I hate that. I'll do it for my auditions, but that's it. And then all of a sudden there was Source Connect, which meant, okay, now you can connect, that it'll talk to the studio. You can talk from your kitchen or your studio or whatever. I'm like, okay, but I don't really want to do that. It was super easy, super easy. My husband's a composer. He should be able to help me. He could not. So, well, he kind of did, but then he doesn't really know stuff either. We got set up. And then every single time I had to do this source connect where, no, you just press the button and then you're connected. It's super easy. I'm like, okay, yeah, that sounds good. And then I would get the job, I would get my booking and I'd be like, okay, 2 hours before going on. I was like a basket case because I really needed to sort this out without it breaking. And it never failed. Every single time I would be ready. I'm like, okay, I'd call them. I'd actually call them on the phone and I'd say, okay, I'm ready. I'm going live. I'm going to go live, so be ready. Are you ready? Yeah, we're ready, Katie. Okay, here we go. Check, check. 1, 2. Hey, hey, hey. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? You can't hear me. You can't hear me. I got to call back. Yeah. And it would go on for like half an hour. So that was my technology.
It happens in the studios too. You know, you'll be going along and everything will be great, and all of a sudden they're like, and you see the panic on the engineer's face going, speak again? And then they come in and they're plugging, unplugging, and often that's all you have to do is unplug it and plug it back in. They're like, okay, the ghost went away.
I'll actually say, and I've been doing this for 30 years, a long time, I'll still go in to the studio, and I should know this by now. On the side, they have a little box. They'll have all different setups. You can have 3 mics, you can have 10 mics, it doesn't matter. There's usually just me. And if you follow this little cord, it goes into the box. And every single time, it'll be so loud, because for whatever reason, I don't know why, guys like to hear themselves in their headphones. It's always guys, it's never women that want that. And the headphones will blow my head off, and I'll say, can I have about 40% less in my headphones? And then they'll go on, Katie, just follow the cord and you'll see there's a little, I know that! And then I know it's connected to the volume that I can do it myself. I'm like, yeah, no, I know, I'll do it.
Or those times when all of a sudden you get the feedback and it's like, and you're like,
it's bad.
And then the engineers are like, sorry. I think of Jeff Wright when I do that.
Same. Or even when I was doing, Katie, just follow the cord. And he's actually being silly with me because he's known me 100 years, and he'll be like last time, like yesterday when you were in, just follow the cord.
One of the questions I like to sort of ask as we transition to wrap up is, are there any projects that you'd like to plug, to have people looking out for?
Oh, there's one that I want to plug so badly, but they told me I couldn't talk about it.
You have to.
It drives me crazy.
That's what happens now. Everything's an NDA.
I know, and it's killing me because this one, I love this character so much. I'll just say it's for little kids. It's just for little kids, but it is.
Can you tell her? Can she tell us?
Yeah. No, because then I'd have to kill her.
I like this game.
I like it too, because then I'd have to kill her.
Well, now I can talk about some of the shows. So, Total Drama Island has a brand new season that was in Canada before it came here, and I think last month it just dropped streaming here, or it's on Cartoon Network. Okay, well, thank you very much. And I play Lauren, and she's Scary Girl, and she's super fun. So that's on, and now if anybody has little guys, Super Buns is on Peacock, so it's streaming on Peacock for kids, and it's a really cute show. So she's a bunny and she saves the world, and she's like so nice. Like her superpower is kindness. Yeah, come on! Yes. I know, I love it. And if for like on-camera stuff, I have a series called Gangnam Project, and it's like, if you know anything about K-pop, I'm the mom. I'm the only one that's not Korean in it, but I am the mom of the 2 kids that are trying to be K-pop stars. So, and they go over. Yeah, it's a cute series. It's fun.
And Katie and I are also in Go Dog Go on Netflix as well.
Yeah,
it's a fun little one too.
That is a fun one.
It is.
Do you have social media that people can follow?
I'm on Instagram a lot, It's a bit of a problem for me, but I'm working it out. I've now limited myself to 20 minutes a day, ish. And it's an easy way to reach out to us too if you have other questions, because we're pretty good at getting back to people, I would say.
But what I noticed yesterday, someone was trying to find me, and there are a lot of Katie Griffins. What? I'm not the only Katie Griffin. So we were on there, but years ago, because I'm a singer, my album came out. It was called Kiss Me Chaos, sort of like Kiss Me Kate, like Taming of the Shrew, silly. Anyway, so Kiss Me Chaos. So if you can't find me, if you don't see my picture, it's me, it's my face. It's Kiss Me Chaos, at Kiss Me Chaos, and you'll find me.
And I'm LA Valentine.
I don't know why I did that, and my kids hate that I did that. They're like, so embarrassing, my friends are looking you up, and I so hate that.
Our kids will never ever accept us for the fantastic stars that we are. They're just like, oh,
Jet's friends.
Mom, seriously?
I have a 17-year-old and a 13-year-old. My 17-year-old, all his friends love Sailor Moon, P.S. And also I was a Care Bear, and his girlfriend walked into our house with Laugh-A-Lot Bear on her shirt. And I'm like, oh Jet, oh my God, Avery, I love your shirt. And Jet's like, yeah. I said, Jet, did you look at her shirt? It's a Care Bear. It's Laugh-A-Lot Bear. And Jet goes, yeah, all right, whatever. But I know secretly he's like, oh, it's kind of weird. But all his friends, I can tell his friends that are following me, I can see when they're on there. He's like, you have to block them. I can't block people.
I can't believe you said to your son, did you look at her chest? I mean, her shirt? He's like, no, I wasn't looking. Wasn't looking.
That's funny, I never even thought about that.
Excellent. Well, Linda Valentine, Katie Griffin, thank you very much for this time today, for joining us here at the conference.
Thank you. Well, we're only going to be here until 1:30 tomorrow.
Yes.
So get to us before then, because we got to go to the airport. We got to get out to get back to Canada.
And we're going to be here till like around 6 or
6-ish,
yeah,
today.
So come
so come by and see us. If you have other questions, you bring them to us. We'll answer them.
We have all the answers.
We have all the answers.
Excellent.
Thank you guys for coming. That's fun.
Have a great rest of your con.
And thank you. Thanks so much. That was it. You were fantastic. That was amazing.